The streak has been broken. The Rebels finally defeated Arkansas.
Coming up, see how the Land Sharks fared in their rainy matchup against the Arkansas Razorbacks.
Good evening, and thank you for tuning in to NewsWatch Ole Miss. I'm Karsyn King.
And I'm Matthew Hendley.
Ole Miss football shocked War Memorial Stadium after defeating the Arkansas Razorbacks 37-33 this weekend. The Rebels were able to erase all that heartache that came along with the last 4 times these teams met.
Sports Watch reporter Mapp is in studio to give us a breakdown of the game. Annie?
Thanks, guys. That's right. Ole Miss has ended their drought against Arkansas and did it in a thrilling fashion. In the first half, quarterback Jordan Ta'amu brought the heat when he threw a touchdown pass and rushed for another as the Rebels trailed 21-17 at halftime. But the action didn't really kick off until after the guys got back from the locker room. The Rebel offense showed they were not going to let the Hogs go for a 5-year win streak. An impressive catch from tight end Octavius Cooley brought a crucial touchdown after he rushed for 66 yards and closed the score to 24-30. Shortly after, Arkansas's Connor Limpert got a 36-yard field goal, turning the score to 24-33. But it would be their last time scoring. It wasn't until the last 42 seconds that the Rebels were able to secure a lead and change that narrative. Scotty Phillips turned from 5 yards out to put Ole Miss up by 4 points and secure the victory. It was definitely a surprise and a much-needed win for Ole Miss. Head coach Matt Luke told us how those last minutes changed the game. Stay tuned to find out what he said on Sports Watch. Karsyn, back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Annie. Ole Miss and Mississippi State fans had the opportunity to see a bowl game at the 2018 Esports Egg Bowl on Saturday. NewsWatch reporter Amanda Haley has more.
We're making Mississippi a great place to be a gamer.
For the first time ever, video gamers from Ole Miss and Mississippi State competed in the Esports Egg Bowl. This electronic video game competition allows students to embrace their gaming, sports, and technology skills together while bringing attention to the eSport teams. Ole Miss Chief Information Officer Nisanth Rodriguez says technology is changing everything.
One of the things that kind of spurred this is the aspect of watching how technology has evolved. So we've taken academia online, right? So academia was only in the classroom and then went online. And athletics was only in a field and only in an arena, and now that's going online as well. So everything's changing.
The teams faced each other in various video games, and the event was live streamed for the video platform Twitch. President of Mississippi State Esports, Jay DeShong, says he never expected the event to happen so soon.
This was 5 years down the road. This wasn't something that was next year or the year after. It was maybe when I'm gone, maybe. But it's hard to put into words, really, how it feels, how good it feels for something like this to happen and to be a part of it.
Although esports are available for anyone in the world, it takes a high level of skill to play at the collegiate or professional level.
Well, I would say compared to something like chess or poker or any other sport where you're not necessarily being physical, the mechanical skill it takes to play at these guys' level is insane. Even at the collegiate level, they're nowhere near pros. Nobody could sit down and just do what we do kind of just on the fly.
Amanda Haley, NewsWatch, Ole Miss.
Mississippi State secured victory with a win in the game Rainbow Six Siege. The second Esports Egg Bowl is set to take place in 2019 in Starkville.
Lights, camera, action. The Ole Miss Film Festival debuted this weekend, and NewsWatch reporter Lauren Conley gives us the inside scoop on the festivities.
The 2018 University of Mississippi Film Festival is a 2-day event that recently added new features such as workshops, panels, and a 1-minute film competition to its roster. Harrison Witt, one of the festival coordinators, says the goal is to expand film culture on campus.
The goal of the festival is help create a stronger film culture here at the university, also to highlight some of our work with our new program, and to bring other Mississippi filmmakers together.
The University of Mississippi Film Festival took place here in Fulton Chapel, but this is the first year the festival has been moved from the spring to the fall. Emily Hink has participated in the festival for 2 years. She likes having it in the fall because it gives her a chance to prepare for the Oxford Film Competition, unlike in previous years.
We can kind of get feedback, and if it's comedy, if the crowd, there's only a few chucklers, you can fix that up, and then maybe get accepted into the Oxford Film Festival. So I think that's a good opportunity.
Lauren Conley, NewsWatch, Ole Miss.
The 16th annual Oxford Film Festival will be held February 6th through the 9th. 2019. The festival activities will be held at the Oxford Conference Center. Well, a new study is showing that millennials may not be drinking as much alcohol as you think. NewsWatch reporter Thomas Goris is in the studio to tell us more. Thomas?
Thanks, Matthew. According to Gallup polling, young people under 29 drink more alcoholic beverages than any other age group. However, according to a new study, the number of young people drinking is on the decline.
A new study by the University College London shows that fewer young people are spending time drinking. Research shows that 29% of people in ages 16 to 24 are now non-drinkers, up 18% from 10 years ago. Of the 10,000 people interviewed for the study, half said they hadn't drank in the last week. According to a 2009 study by Ole Miss professor Catherine Woodyard, 29% of Ole Miss students said they got drunk at least once during football season at the Grove. Ole Miss senior Keir Betnetchi is one of the non-drinkers.
It's all about the social aspect of it for me. I don't need to drink to meet new people or to have a good time, so I just don't.
According to the survey, the number of young people who binge drink was also down over 10 years from 27% to 18%. The owner of the Blind Pig, David Moore, said he's noticed more young people visiting his bar to have one drink rather than to binge drink.
There is certainly an element of just like coffee drinking, sitting relaxing with a beer, and it doesn't have to be binge drinking or hanging out. It doesn't have to have a big group. You know, just sitting in and relaxing.
Researchers said they weren't exactly sure why drinking rates decline, but said it may be due to an increased awareness of the dangers of alcohol. Karsyn, back to you.
Thanks, Thomas. Saturday marked the inaugural Community Day, where students volunteered in 3 different Ole Miss communities: Charleston, Lexington, and New Albany. Some students helped set up booths for an art and music festival, while others spread mulch and picked up litter on nature trails. This day of service was a part of M-Partner, which stemmed from Chancellor Vitter's initiative, Flagship Forward. The goal of the event was to use students' academic talents and partner them with the community in hopes of improving the overall quality of life for these residents. And if you've passed the square recently, you've probably seen the wide variety of pumpkins outside St. Peter's Episcopal Church. Like most things in life, these pumpkins aren't free, and people have recently been accused of stealing them and smashing them without paying. One student said he decided to pick one up and throw it at his feet. OPD approached him and ended up arresting him for public intoxication. OPD Captain Hildum Sessom says 8 to 10 people are arrested per year for smashing pumpkins late at night. So walking in the patch may not get you in trouble, but stealing or smashing them could find you behind bars.
The Mississippi Highway Patrol has released more details about the 4-vehicle wreck that claimed the life of a Tate County man last Tuesday. 49-year-old Hugo Tristan Luivano was killed in an accident after being hit by 2 other vehicles who had just collided on Highway 7 near Abbeville. The other victims were transported to the hospital with injuries. Mississippi Highway Patrol says the cause of the wreck is still under investigation. Well, how to properly capture a picture of one's art is what one event taught local artists last night. NewsWatch reporter DeAndria Turner is in the studio with more on the story. DeAndria?
Thanks, Matthew. Selling art on social media is one way artists can profit, and last night, one event catered to them by teaching them how to properly capture their art.
From shooting with the cell phone lens to a camera lens, Big Bad Business series by Yachna Patafa Art Council held an event Sunday night called Arts Incubator. Artists brought in one piece of their artwork to learn the basics of photography and editing their work. Instructor of the event, Jessica Richardson, said she wanted the artists to leave confident in capturing their art.
I just want them to gain the skill set to properly document their work so that they feel comfortable joining the social media world.
Richardson also showed the artists how to edit their photos in Adobe Photoshop. Artist Pam Locke says one thing she took away from the event is the importance of knowing how to properly use a camera.
And being able to know all the bells and whistles that are on your camera. If you've got a regular DSL, a lot of us just shoot it in auto mode, and there's so much more that you can do, that you've invested that money into that camera, that you need to know how to use it so that you'll get what you need out of your investment.
The event, like many others, are free to the public.
So we really appreciate YAC putting these things on so that we can learn. Artists need all the help and support we can get.
This event is just one of the events out of a series of events hosted by the Big Bad Business series. For a schedule of events, head to Yachna Patafa's website at oxfordarts.com. Matthew, Karsyn, back to you.
Thanks, DeAndria. Coming up, we'll have the latest developments in the disappearance of the Washington Post journalist and which White House cabinet member is now heading to Saudi Arabia.
Karsyn, we got new royalty on the way.
I'm excited. No, ecstatic.
So stay tuned to see which royal family member is pregnant and find out when the new bundle of royalty will be born. But first, Jessica Everett has your first look at the current conditions.
Thanks, guys. As you can tell, today certainly was cool, and the cooler temperatures will continue throughout the week. The chance of rain may return, and the winds will range at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Taking a look at our current radar image, you can tell that there's not very much activity going on currently, but tune in to Storm Watch, and I'll let you know what the rain chances are.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie.
Nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
I, Krista, take you, Jamie, to be my wife. When we found out that we were pregnant, we were just elated. We were just sitting there waiting for the pediatrician. She said she won't be taking you in as a client.
We are a lesbian couple, but she's just a baby. She's the one you're denying the service to.
Be careful what you promise. 3 months ago, President Trump offered to donate $1 million. You heard that right, $1 million to charity if Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren, a potential 2020 election rival, took a DNA test proving she had Native American heritage. Well, Warren did just that and is now asking President Trump to pay up. Warren's DNA sample from a Stanford genetics professor found strong evidence of Native American ancestry between 6 to 10 generations ago. President Trump does not seem to be in any hurry to take action on his words. After the destruction of Hurricane Michael last week, there's still much work to be done to restore life back to normal. Dozens are still missing in the Florida Panhandle. President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump are visiting Florida and Georgia this week to further survey Hurricane Michael's damage. As of just a few hours ago, President Trump was handing out water bottles to stranded residents of Lynn Haven, Florida. President Trump has made several comments on how the damage is hard to believe and has praised FEMA, local government, and first responders for their incredible work.
Well, Saudi Arabia is under intense pressure regarding the disappearance of Jamal Khashoggi. The Washington Post columnist was last seen nearly 2 weeks ago, and there's an international push for answers.
Still no sign of Jamal Khashoggi. Turkish officials say the Saudi columnist was murdered by a Saudi group sometime after he entered the Saudi consulate on October 2nd. The Saudis deny any responsibility.
The Saudis are probably telling anyone that'll listen, we're not culpable. If you act against us, we'll take action, because they know there's such strength in numbers.
If in fact the Saudis lured him into that consulate, murdered him, cut up his body, and disposed of it, there was going to be a very strong congressional response.
President Trump, appearing on CBS's 60 Minutes, gave fair warning to Saudi Arabia.
We would be very upset and angry if that were the case. As of this moment, they deny it, and they deny it vehemently. Could it be them? Yes. We're going to get to the bottom of it, and there will be severe punishment.
Some want action taken against Saudi Arabia.
So I think one of the strong things that we can do is not only stop military sales, not only put sanctions on Saudi Arabia, but most importantly, get out of this terrible, terrible war in Yemen led by the Saudis.
There's also talk that Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin should boycott an upcoming investment conference in Saudi Arabia scheduled for later this month.
Secretary of State Mike Pompeo left to meet with Saudi Arabia's King Salman about Khashoggi's disappearance. There is no word yet on what exactly the two will discuss. Well, the American Bar Association will no longer review its well-qualified rating of Justice Brett Kavanaugh now that the Senate has confirmed him. The group previously said that they would reevaluate its rating of Kavanaugh due to the allegations of sexual assault against him. The policy of the American Bar Association is that once a justice or judge is confirmed, the rating process is ended. According to the ABA website, 125 of the 131 federal judicial nominees put forward by President Trump have been rated either qualified or well qualified.
And Sears shall be no more. The once dominant retail chain who changed how America shopped and lived filed bankruptcy after a $134 million debt payment due today could not be paid. The 132-year-old company has been struggling with debt for the past couple of years. CEO Eddie Lampert also gave his title up after the news broke earlier this morning. Sears plans to close over 140 stores near the end of the year, in addition to the 46 already planned for next month. Although retailers typically file for bankruptcy with the intention of staying in business, it isn't always successful.
Well, the British royal family is growing. Kensington Palace confirmed this morning the Duchess of Sussex Meghan Markle is pregnant with her first child. Markle and Prince Harry got married in May at Windsor Castle. The baby is expected next spring. Britain's Queen Elizabeth II will be the child's great-grandmother. The Queen and other members of the royal family congratulated Meghan and Harry Friday at Princess Eugenie's wedding. The baby will be 7th in line to the throne.
The last baby was born on my birthday, so maybe this one will be too.
Wow.
And it seems like the rain and has been overcast weather from the Arkansas game made its way here to Oxford, and I'm definitely looking for the skies to clear up.
Me too, Karsyn. I'd love to see some nice fall weather this week. Up next, Jessica Everett will let us know in her extended forecast if any more rain is headed this way.
Leah, did you put a new dent in that?
This one? No.
Were you texting and driving again?
Yes.
Hi, Leah.
Hi, Dad.
Sorry about your bumper.
Disaster tips from the objects left behind.
My home wasn't insured, but you can check your insurance policy now to make sure you're covered. Oh.
My savings are lost, but you can put money aside and plan for unexpected disaster costs.
We're lost forever, but you can scan important documents now so they survive.
Whoa. For more tips on how to prepare, visit ready.gov.
It definitely was a very chilly and wet day. Currently, we're sitting at 60 degrees and we are still very cloudy outside. Taking a look at our current satellite image, you can see that there is not any activity currently, but there is some slight cloud cover. Taking a look at our current all-around temperatures, you can see South Haven at 55, Holly Springs at 57, Tupelo at 64, Corinth and Oxford at 60. Moving on until tomorrow's temperatures, you can see that South Haven is at 51, Holly Springs and Oxford both at 53, Corinth at 56, and Tupelo the warmest at 58. Taking a look at tonight's forecast, we will drop down all the way to 47 degrees, so make sure to bring a jacket if you're going to go out. And also make sure to bring an umbrella because we have a 40% chance of rain. Looking at tomorrow's temperatures, you can see that we will warm up to 53 degrees, but it will be mostly sunny, so maybe that will give us a break from the cold temperatures. Taking a look at our all 5-day forecast, you can see for Wednesday and Thursday we'll be in the upper 60s with a slight chance of rain on Wednesday, Friday and Saturday having both 50% chances of rain, so if you're going to come out and watch the Reds play, make sure to bring an umbrella or a rain jacket. Matthew, Karsyn, back to you guys at the desk.
Sounds good. Thanks, Jessica. And after the much-needed win against Arkansas, see who picked up an award from the SEC.
Yeah, Karsyn, well, the win also came with a huge loss. Find out who is out for the season for the Rebels up next on Sports Watch.
Don't ignore the subtext. It's on us to intervene in sexual assault. Because we can. Take the pledge at itsonus.org.
There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and kissed them all soundly and put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
You think getting dumped by text is harsh? Try getting dumped by a tennis ball. My ex-owner drove me out to the woods, yelled fetch, and by the time I brought the ball back, he was gone. Yeah, I was pissed. But the folks at the shelter helped me let go of my anger. I learned coping skills, like taking it to the hole. Boom! Now I'm ready to fetch again. But how about I throw and you run and get it?
Welcome to Sports Watch. I'm Annie Mapp. It's no secret that quarterback Jordan Ta'amu had an impressive game against Arkansas after his 528 yards led the comeback. After getting the 37-33 victory, Ta'amu was named Southeastern Conference Co-Offensive Player of the Week by the league office today. During the game, he engineered the game-winning 97-yard touchdown drive with 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. His 528 yards were also the second most in school history, behind Archie Manning's 540-yard performance against Alabama in 1969. The senior now ranks 10th all-time in career passing yards at Ole Miss with 3,980 yards. And the Rebels did defeat the Razorbacks, but the big win came with a heavy loss at the War Memorial Stadium. Wide receiver DK Metcalf is out for the rest of the season after suffering from a neck injury, according to Coach Luke. Losing Metcalf is a huge blow for the Ole Miss offense, which has been named one of the most explosive in the nation. The 6'4", 230-pounder nasty wideout is the second leading receiver this season and has 26 receptions for 569 yards and 5 touchdowns. Head coach Matt Luke said the loss is tough for the team, but Metcalf just has to focus on bouncing back and getting better. After the win against the Razorbacks, head coach Matt Luke said he feels proud of how the guys executed on the field.
Excited about it was a big SEC road win for us. I thought did a lot for the kids and the confidence. Very, very proud of all the things they fought through, the adversity, a lot of injuries, a lot of guys playing on defense. Miles Hartsfield played every position in the secondary. Armani and Tylen stepping up. Just proud of the guys that continued to fight.
And the Ole Miss season will only get harder from this point on. The Rebels will take on Auburn this weekend at the Vaught Hemingway Stadium. And it was also a wild win last night in the NFL when Tom Brady and the Patriots topped the Chiefs for a 43-40 win. Brady and the Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes went head-to-head the whole game. Mahomes was able to catch fire with 352 yards and 4 touchdowns. Brady used a 16-yard pass to James White and a 39-yard completion to Rob Gronkowski to get New England into field goal range. However, it was a 28-yard kick from Steven Gostkowski that gave the Patriots the win. The game was also the first NFL start for former Ole Miss Rebel Breeland Speaks, who even got his hands on Brady before one of his touchdowns. Big shout out to Breeland. That's all I have for you today in sports. Be sure to follow us at NewsWatch_UM to stay up to date with all things sports. Matthew, Karsyn, back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Annie. Up next, let us tell you about the cheesy new food creation one New York City company is selling.
And stay tuned to see how this unbelievable menu item is combining 2 food favorites and why it will cost you a lot of dough.
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
When I get all steamed up, then I shout.
Tip me over and pour me out. Oh.
It only takes a moment to make a moment.
Cheers.
Take time to be a dad today.
We are Ole Miss Rebels. As Mississippi's flagship university, we dig deeper, see farther, work harder. We pioneered human organ transplants. We helped prove Einstein's theory of gravitational waves. We are distinguished as a Carnegie R1 top 2.5% research institution. We are Ole Miss, transforming lives and the world.
When I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars. But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows, maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Remember that to love America is to love all Americans. Because love has no labels.
I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars. But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows, maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
For $2,000, you could pay your rent, pay off some bills, or buy a cheeseburger pizza in New York City. That's right, Champion Pizza in NYC is offering up a 40-pound pizza monstrosity.
It consists of 5 layers of meat, cheese, lettuce, onions, tomatoes, ketchup, and pepperoni, all with a $2,000 price tag. The owner says the company sells 3 to 5 cheeseburger pizzas a week. Proceeds from the pie go to a good cause and will help those impacted by Hurricane Florence in North Carolina. $2,000, you know what it could do with $2,000?
I mean, the possibilities are endless, honestly.
I mean, cheeseburger and pizza, it's like my 2 favorites.
Great combo. Well, Jessica, what would you buy with $2,000?
Well, I'd probably buy some cute fall flannels because this fall weather is not going anywhere. And maybe some cute like rain boots too because the rain chances are pretty high. So.
There you go. I am all about it. I love this fall weather. I hope it sticks around. A little rain thrown in there.
As well.
Can't complain. Yeah.
Thank you, Jessica.
Yeah. Thanks, Jessica. Appreciate it. That's all we have for tonight. Thanks for tuning in to NewsWatch Ole Miss. I'm Karsyn King.
Be sure to join us here again tomorrow night at 5 and on NewsWatchOleMiss.com. I'm Matthew Hendley. Thank you and good night.